Take a look at some of his clips on Twitch TV. That's Twitch TV/Hitch. Hitch. Hitch.
Alrighty. Good morning. Wait, I forgot to change the title. Good morning. Welcome to Hitchhiking to TwitchCon San Diego Day 7. Welcome to my home. This is where I live. I am, in a tent in the woods, next to a gas station, next to a Dunkin' Donuts, next to a road, next to an interstate. Speaking of which, we're going to change the title. But good morning, everyone. How's it going? Why does it look so shocked? What, I forgot to change the title? I don't know. It's just usually part of my, starting of the day thing. Anyway. Edit. Wait. Oh, did a mod already change it? I think a mod already changed it. That's good. You changed it. Thanks, Swaggy. Alright, Swaggy's on it. I'm not on it, but Swaggy's on it. Just so we could say the status quo has been maintained. Swaggy being on it and me not. Slept well. Yeah, I slept pretty well. Like people drove. I don't know if it's like a 24-hour one, if people just like pull in here because it's a spot to pull over or something like that. So a bit of noise. And then I could hear the interstate traffic, but it's very much background noise. It doesn't really bother me. So yeah, slept through till like 5, woke up for a little bit, and then went back to bed for a little bit. And then I've been up for about an hour just doing stuff. Nice temps are up to 45 in MA. Is MA Massachusetts, Maine? Because they're both MA kind of states. It was forecast to go down to 8 degrees Celsius, and I'm sorry, I don't know Fahrenheit that well. Probably by the end of this trip I'll be able to talk Fahrenheit to you. It's been a while since I've used it. ME is Maine. Okay. MA is Massachusetts then? Okay. And yeah, I think the high today, when I looked yesterday, was only 13 degrees Celsius today. So, like, a more cool day. I think that's good. It's good conditions. It's not supposed to rain. That's the big one. Where'd you go? There you are. First how the tent looks from the outside? I will. Just let me pack up my sleeping pad, and then I'll chuck stuff outside, and then I'll give you a look at the tent from the outside. Oh, and I gotta change something. Part of the guy line for this cord, you might be able to kind of see, has kind of been stripped, and it's kind of just awkward. But so it's hard to get the vestibule all out. So it was nice last night, so I just left the one side open. Okay. Welcome to fall. Today's the first full day of fall. There you go. So it's fitting that the temperatures are dropping off a bit. Okay. Fall, I can get a pumpkin spice drink at Dunkin'. Would that make me basic? Is that still a thing people say about pumpkin spice? Yes, it would. Okay. I don't really care. A lot of times the pumpkin spice ones are just like too sweet, too much sweetness. Like I like sweet. I drink sweet tea in the United States. I like it. But I don't know, something about the really sickly sweet coffee-based drinks. It's like a little much. I'll tell you a pair of Uggs for you too. Do people still wear Uggs? That was like middle school for me when those were like big. Oops. Black coffee, best coffee. At home, I have my coffee black quite frequently. When I'm out and just getting fast food coffee, I usually take like 1 and 1. Oh wait, it's the little milk and sugar in my life, or cream and sugar. Do most places default to cream or milk when you just say 1 and 1? Sleeping pad, sleeping bag packed. It's got a lot of stuff in the tent because my camping stuff is at the bottom, so I just kind of took everything out. Oh yeah, I got this working on here. If I find the speaker, I can probably get text to speech working today.
Quiet Corgi just resubscribed for 2 months.
Thank you for the 2 months, Quiet Corgi.
Introduxium just resubscribed for 5 months.
And
Good morning, Trevor.
An Introduxium, thank you very much for the, it was 5 months? The 5-month reset. Sleeping bag have a TOG rating. Is TOG an actual defined thing? It's a Sierra Designs Nitro down quilt, and I think it's technically a 0 degrees Celsius quilt. I think 0 degrees on this quilt would be stretching it a little bit, like with some layers underneath. Like if I was wearing my base layer pants and a base layer top and maybe a sweater, I think I'd be comfortable at about 0. But the thing with a quilt, they're lighter weight, they're more packable because they don't have the zip and stuff like that. But like your feet still kind of come to like, are kind of contained. There's like a foot box for it, but then the rest is like a blanket. So if you move around a lot, it's easy to like essentially move some of the down that you kind of tuck around you out, and then you're like letting cold air in. So, but I love it for warmer temperatures. Made good progress already outside Boston. Yeah, I think we're doing a decent pace. Like yesterday was only like 90 miles, and we should be doing about 200 miles a day. But generally, the trip's gone well. I feel like something's just like a little hazy with my camera and lens right now, but I can address that in a little bit here. Let's continue getting packed up. Just kind of have to average that. There's going to be days where, you know, I bet there'll be a day where I get like 500 miles in or something like that, 800 kilometers. It's happened many times in the past, and I'm sure it'll happen in the future. Oh, that pulsing autofocus, that's nice. Anyway, I'm going to start getting my boots on, and then we'll get out of here. Sometimes I keep my boots outside, sometimes I keep them inside. If they're inside, I just tuck them into the corner over there, but Oh, ice cream shop was great yesterday. Yeah, it was really good. And like, it would have been great regardless of the weather, but the weather made it especially great because it gave me like a nice place to hang out with some cool people, with some good food and ice cream. Well, the weather was miserable because it was very unpleasant yesterday, until about like 5 or whatever, 4:30. It's the current average. Swaggy, do you know how far we've done? We can do total distance divided by number of days and tell you what the daily average has been. Swaggy's the official statistician of the stream. Get a good sleep? Yeah. No, and I'm happy to be back out in the tent. I had only actually camped in my tent one night on this trip previous. So now it's been 2. Not because I didn't want to, but people kept inviting me over. And one night I ended up sleeping on a ferry because it was an overnight ferry. Stayed at several people's houses so far.
Has just resubscribed for 7 months.
Zadie, thank you for the 7 months resub. Wait, 367.3 miles per day. That's good. Oh. That ain't bad at all. What kind of boots are those? They look nice. These are Red Wing Iron Rangers. They're kind of starting to die on me a little bit. If you take care of the uppers, they can last a long time. But with hitchhiking and them getting like wet and then me not properly drying them out because I use the same shoes every day, of course. I'm not sure if you can see, but like the leather at the flex point is quite cracked. Right, anyway, yeah, I can get over here. Okay. Wow. There's an ambulance. Like something smudged or something. It looks a little hazy. Anyway, there's the pen. How you charge your phone? Big batteries like these. I've got 6 of about that capacity, and that keeps me going for a few days without having to touch a wall. So yeah, this is how I keep things charged. you manage to stay away from Boston? Yeah, we kind of we're out on Interstate 495, which kind of does like a very outer ring of Boston, which keeps us away from the city itself. Today we should get onto Interstate 90 and start heading west. Everything so far has been kind of southbound. Well, I guess technically in Canada we were on the Trans-Canada Highway West, but it was quite a bit of south. But for our US part, we've been on southbound roads. Soon to be west. But then we'll go west for a little bit, then we'll go south, then we'll go west, then we'll go south, then we'll go west, south. I think West 45 doesn't exist in Boston. There you go. Okay. That's everything in the tent. So we can take her down now. Stop at Manhattan, I'll give you a high five, man. I want to avoid New York City at all costs. Getting out of big cities like that is a pain when you're hitchhiking. Yeah, I did want to do something. Maybe I'll take the tent down first, and then I'll do that. Around here is pretty almost like clay. It's all stuck in the stakes. Got a bivy bag so you consider one. My very first hitchhiking sleep system was a U.S. military surplus Gore-Tex bivy bag. So yeah, I've used it in the past. I just like a tent feels much more livable. naily, sluggy thing. It's very light. You can do that in winter. I've camped plenty in winter in a 3-season tent. Like, tents like this aren't meant to handle snow loads, but... or a proper winter storm, but there's no reason you couldn't use this tent in the winter. It's not necessarily designed for that, but... like...
Has Arthur's 111 just resubscribed in tier 3 for 3 months? How cold was it?
Xanthos with the 3-month reset. Thank you very much. How cold was it? I forecasted to get down to 8 degrees Celsius last night. I don't know. I didn't check. It was fine. I was comfy. Okay. But yeah, the ground sheet's pretty wet. I'm not sure you can tell. It's just because the ground is quite saturated. The ground I'm on drains really well, so that's good. But it's still wet. So I'm going to try and put this somewhere where it can get a little bit dried out. Where do I want to put the ground sheet? Outer pocket, maybe? Sure. Yeah, I can go up there. That's fine. Kicked out of a camp spot? Only once in Japan. Police came by, and then Osasume. Then through a translator, because of course they couldn't speak English and I couldn't speak Japanese. They're like, "You can't camp here," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And they're like, "But you can't camp over here," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then they're like, "Follow me," and I'm like, "Okay." And then I followed them, and then I walked like 100 or 200 meters with the police officer, and he's like, "You can camp here," and I'm like, "Okay," and he's like, "Good night," and I'm like, "Thank you," and then that was that. So an obstacle whole ride to California would take it? No. Yeah, it's just not interesting. I like every day of hitchhiking's something new, something different. I don't know who I'm going to meet, where I'm going to go. And if I had a ride all the way from very far away, it'd just be kind of boring, in my opinion. So I'd ride with that person for a while, maybe the rest of the day or something, and then carry on. have a 200-word essay due tomorrow. Isn't 200-word essay like 10 or 20 sentences? Like a one paragraph? It's not that bad. I just turned on my speaker. Speaking of which, I could use that. So I'll leave that out. That's a great reminder, speaker. Thank you for reminding me of your presence. Words, not characters. Wait, how much on average is like a one-page document? How many words? It's been so long since I've had to do that. $2,000 words. Oh, okay, that's a lot more. Now I empathize with you. It's still in my mind that 200 words wasn't that much. $300 depending on font size. Because, yeah, no, I was just like, oh, 200 words isn't that bad. In my head, I'm like, that's definitely less than a page. But 2,000 is something different entirely. Okay. Yeah, just put this away for now. Let's take all this out. Is this connected to this? I just want to replay this and see if this plays through the speaker, if it plays through my thumb. Yeah, it plays through the speaker. Okay, cool.
Casanthus 111 just resubscribed at tier 3 for 3 months. How cold was it?
Sorry, I already answered that. I was just wanting to see if my speaker was working. And it seems to be, which is good. Just keep the ground sheet. It's not, the ground sheet wasn't at all designed for the tent I'm using. It just kind of protects the bottom of the tent from abrasion. Just keep it in the outer pocket so it kind of gets dried out a bit. And then maybe when I eat breakfast, I'll sit at that picnic table I sat at last night, and I can get it out drying in the sun, because it actually is sunny right now for once. Well, it's okay. That sounded over dramatic. We've had plenty of sunny days. We've also had 2 really rainy days so far on this trip. Okay. New sign today. Yeah, I might make one. I'm not sure if I'll make one for the next hitch we're gonna do, like make one during breakfast, or if I just feel like it looks hazy. But the lens looks clear. It looks hazy. Usually just needs a good wipe down, a good cleaning. But oops. Sorry for the crotch shot. I'm just mounting the microphone receiver on a cold shoe mount here. There we go.
Baby Bear's Twitch cheered 100 bits. Note from your speaker. Hey man, it's tight in here. Can't breathe.
It's getting tight in here. Okay. Anyway, these are my woods. My woods for a night. Let's extract ourselves from the woods. Turn on GPS. In a minute. All right. And there's Dunkin' Donuts. It's been a very hard commute to get breakfast this morning, but we managed to make it work. Just barely, though. Dunkin' time? It is Dunkin' time. It's a mini Dunkin'.
Is it just glitter on this one? Yeah.
Sir, sua avocado.
All right, thank you very much.
I want to take the link off the this camera. You sure this camera working? Yeah, but we want to take the video and see this camera.
Thanks, honey. Have a good day. Yeah, you too. Bye.
Hi there. Could I get your sausage, egg, and cheese croissant, please? And a small coffee, 1 and 1. And a chocolate glazed donut, please.
Anything else?
Just that.
8:32.
Sure.
know this camera works.
For real, right?
Okay, so you see it and then I'm pouring it water.
Thank you.
Never come in and out. How it works.
Hash brown? Do they do hash browns? I don't think I've ever had a Dunkin' hash brown. Chocolate milk? Oh, they do. Boo-struck chocolate milk. Oh, it's just Halloween themed. Okay. I think.
Alright, can I get a medium black coffee?
I forgot about you.
And, can I get a shot at bagel twist? About a
Same level there?
yeah.
Camp out last night? Yeah, just behind the building here. I was a Kira with the 2 months, thank you, and Xanax with the 4 month. And Baby Bear's Twitch with the 100 bits.
Here's your small what?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pasta and cheese on the croissant?
Thank you. Yeah. Sorry for that. I know you're just staring at my chin for a few minutes there. Sit on one of those picnic tables from yesterday. Have a nice breakfast and decide about how I want to hitchhike.
Subscribed for 16 months. Me
Uh,
too.
TDC, I'd say 6 months. Thank you very much. That puddle is still very puddly. It's a big one. Okay, maybe I'll actually go on the slightly shady one.
Car wash underscore
Car.
Chris subscribed with Twitch Prime.
That Dunkin' Donuts, it is. Because this is America. Well, a part of America where Dunkin' Donuts is prolific. I'm just gonna dry this out on the picnic table over here. It's not directly in the sun, but it should dry out-ish. Okay. Turn up my brightness here. I can't see anything. There we go. Like sausage more than bacon? Usually sausage has more calories than bacon. So I get the sausage ones because it's quite often an extra 100 or 200 calories. And that's how my brain works. I'm always losing weight, so I just quite often choose the most calorific thing I can find on the menu. There you go, breakfast. No chocolate milk? Not yet, but I very well might pick some up today. Okay, so it's just a couple hundred meters down the road that way is the on-ramp to Interstate 495 south. And we only have, like, not too far on the 495 before it splits out onto 90. And I don't know the best way, like, other than by chance, to have someone to get onto the 90, right? Because chances are the vast majority of people that are going to be taking this on-ramp, if they are going that far, they're not like turning onto the 90. They might be continuing on the 495. They might be going on the 90, like towards Boston. There's a lot of different ways they could be going. So, like, theoretically, anywhere down the 495 would help me. But if they're not turning westbound on the 90, where would I get them to pull, to stop, I guess? How far south are you gonna go? Swerve west? Yeah. So, I'm probably going to be weaving west then south then west then south, like the whole way across, right? My plan, in theory, is to be quite far south by the time I get, close to California, because it's illegal to hitchhike in Nevada, it's illegal to hitchhike in Idaho, and those two states create a giant shield separating California from, everywhere out east. So the only way you can go through without an illegal hitchhiking state is south through Arizona. $290 to 90, then 84. It's just hard to coordinate that with hitchhiking. I do see that on the map, but I only go where rides go, and I'm also thinking about, if I make a sign, what should my sign say? Because, like, if I got someone going into Worcester, it looks like a pretty decent sized place. It could be difficult to get a ride out of Worcester. It's always possible, it's just, would it be difficult? Going to 290 Worcester. Okay. Because Worcester looks like a city. Once we're in the city, we'd have to somehow get back out onto the interstate. Let's see. So 290 runs right through town. That's cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna take a quick peek at one of the city on-ramps out of curiosity, because I'm just like, that's probably doable, actually. Oops. Most people going 90 west are going 290 quicker. No, that makes sense. I just wanted to see if it felt like I was going to get stuck in Worcester if someone was going 290 and stopping in the city there. $45, 90, 84. So people were saying, if someone actually is going out on 90, they're probably going to take 290, kind of interstate through Worcester, because it's faster. Oscar, thank you for the 4-month reset. Any chance to pass by New York City? No, I'm trying to avoid the major eastern seaboard cities, so Boston, New York, all that. because it's annoying to hitchhike out of them. And I gotta go a long way in a short amount of time. If I had a lot of time, then yeah, we could try and sort out cities and check them out and stuff. But this is a sprint. Take Route 2. Yeah, you can take state highways for a while. I'd have to somehow get back up north. Like hitchhike, but then that one ride kind of feels like a backtrack. Or how many kilometers? It'd be like probably 6, 7, 8 kilometer walk to a junction on the state. Is that State Highway 2? No, it's just Route 2. At least it doesn't have the state highway symbol. Same with 90 clear for low hours. Should I make an Interstate 90 West sign? I could. It might not get used much. But yeah, generally if I follow a state highway or lesser, I'm going to get a lot shorter rides, and I'm going to do a lot less distance in a day. To cross America quickly, you want to be on interstates. Well, you want to hitchhike onto interstates. Going west as much as possible is best, since eastern U.S. south of Boston is almost a megalopolis. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Right now, my goal is to get west away from the eastern seaboard. And then once I'm like a bit, into what you might call the Midwest or something, then I can go as much, south as I want to once we're off the eastern seaboard. Time you wake up this morning? Like 7. I didn't start the stream until just after 8 though. Get to Syracuse and get to Rochester. And I'd take you up on that, but the thing about the stream is I try to show what it's like to hitchhike, and as soon as it's planned rides through the stream from someone watching, albeit a very kind offer, it isn't it doesn't show hitchhiking as far as I'm concerned, because it's a planned ride, because they watch the stream and then they offer to pick you up. So I don't take viewer rides. I used to, and then it became a frequent enough thing that I could be doing more rides with people that watch the stream than people that are just, random people driving down the road. Can you store me back in a bit? Get a chance to turn GPS on, please. Yeah, I can do that right now. I think, isn't it? Somewhere here? Oh, it's right there. The lens. Okay, it says it's logging. Took a few viewer rides though. So, how that worked was, I got a viewer ride 2 days ago from a service station that I was hitchhiking at to their place for a night to sleep at, and then back to the same service station that I finished hitchhiking at the next morning. So they didn't actually take me anywhere. And then the other one was like, I got off at the interstate, and then their ice cream business was kind of in that general kind of area, and then they just took me back out onto an interstate. So I do take viewer rides. I take them, if they're not taking me anywhere, they can take me somewhere and then take me back, or they can take me around a town or a city to get me to a better hitchhiking spot. Because that'd be something I'd probably be doing anyway. I'd just be walking or taking public transit anyway. And people might consider those like arbitrary rules and stuff like that, but I had to start making some rules for the stream because the stream would just turn into something else without any rules. How do you go from 95 495? Yeah, Chef Negan. How do you say that? Chef dropped me off. Instead of going back to the 95, they took me to the 495. Fronting a Dunkin' or Tim Hortons? I'll take a farmer's wrap from Tim Hortons over a Dunkin' Donuts breakfast sandwich. But I'm just now having the coffee right now. And maybe I take a Dunkin' coffee or Tim Hortons, because Tim Hortons doesn't have particularly good coffee. Although, they put the little fold of the cup right where the mouth is, so when I drink it just drips on you. So that's impeding my enjoyment of this coffee. Baby Bear's Twitch with 100 bits. Thank you very much. No from your speaker. Hey man, it's tight in here. Can't breathe. No. The speaker is in a very ventilated, very breathable shoulder pocket. I use that pocket to put bottles of wine in while I'm walking. Make everyone mod in your channel. You're looking for the real shook one. He does that. It's Mod City in there. Good to see you again on the journey. The island was great, and enjoyed last U.S. trip to San Diego as well. That was a good trip. I always enjoy my hitchhiking to TwitchCon trips, and cycling to TwitchCon Amsterdam as well was good. Most of the time when I'm hitchhiking, I don't have a deadline. I don't have to get anywhere at a particular time. I'm just doing it because I enjoy it. But it's fun to occasionally do something a little bit more fast-paced with a little bit. You actually gotta get some miles down. There's a little bit of suspense. I don't know if I'll make it there in time, because hitchhiking is so, you can't control it. I've done enough that you can like build trends and like estimate what you're capable of doing, and I'm still very confident I'll get there in time. But still, like, you know, you could have a couple bad days in a row right at the end of the trip when you think you're going to be doing 200 miles a day and you just don't get rides. What's the fastest car you've ever hitchhiked with? Well, the car capable of going fastest? I had someone, I think they were in Arkansas, and they picked me up in like a, what was it? It's like a Hellcat Red Eye or something Red Eye. So it's like the super souped up version of like an American muscle car. Wasn't it like 700 something horsepower? You picked up anything? I haven't been picked up by anything like you know, like a supercar, like a Ferrari, a Lamborghini kind of thing. Plain boats in the car. Yeah, the fastest vehicle I've hitchhiked on would be a King Air 250 airplane, a twin turbo prop chartered private plane. I've been food poisoned hitchhiking. I got a horrible stomach bug in Japan, but I think it was from the temple water, where you're supposed to like slurp it, but you probably shouldn't slurp it. But I slurped it, and then I was held up in a hotel for a few days, having a very bad time. Here's Copenhagen. I just tried one of the seaplanes there. I really want to see them in action around Vancouver next. The seaplanes? Yeah, so I live in downtown Victoria, British Columbia, and there's, in downtown Victoria, there's a Harbour Air seaplane terminal that flies to and from Vancouver all day long. And it's pretty cool. With that said, I've twice tried to take a flight with them. The first time, me and Sarah were going to fly to a Billie Eilish concert in Vancouver, and then Sarah got COVID 2 days before the concert, so then we obviously couldn't go, so we had to cancel those. And then I was going to see if I could try and connect up to YVR to then fly to the United States this spring, and I'm like, okay, well, let's see if I can do it via Harbour Air. And I asked them, I'm like, so your website does say you can take bikes, but it says, like, you know, take off the front wheel, so like they don't take box bikes, so it doesn't say you don't take box bikes, but how it's described is like you don't take bikes if they're in a box, or you only take them when they're just normal bikes. And they're like, yeah, we might be able to get it in, just bring the box by. And then I brought the box by like 3 hours before my flight, and they're like, yeah, we can't take it. And I'm like, well, that sucks, doesn't it? So I had to take a taxi with my bike in the box and all my cycling gear to the ferry to Vancouver, on the ferry to Vancouver, and then a taxi from there to YVR Airport, which is a pain. So I still have never been on a float plane. Old man, Wecken, 13-month prime, thank you. And Pappas with 120 bits. I think I missed that. Thank you. I can't smoke much, but love what you're doing. Happy to help what I can. Thank you, Pappas. Sorry for missing that. Slow eater. I just don't.
42 just resubscribed for 12 months.
Oh, fluff.
Harbour Air got in the news with their electric conversions, which seemed pretty neat too.
I think I heard about that actually. They do very short hopping flights, so I'm guessing the capacity of, you know, the batteries is good enough for those short hauls. It was cool. But thank you so much for the 1 year resub, the 12 months fluff. Appreciate it. I just don't like. Are there streamers that are really good at eating on stream, where they can eat fast but also still continue talking? Or do they just like silently eat quickly and make eye contact with the stream while they're eating? I just don't know what people want. A friend of mine got a ride on the back of a donkey at one point while hitchhiking from US to Patagonia. That's cool. That's a unique lift. I've never been picked up by a donkey. Now I'm sad about that. Country of you not hitched in that you absolutely would not ever, at least very hesitant. Okay. So, one time I was hitchhiking in England. I promise you this is relevant. And I got picked up by this guy. And I think at the time, maybe still does, hold the record for climbing to the highest point in the most countries. He's climbed to the highest point of like 150, 60, 70 countries or something like that. Including every country in Africa. And I asked him kind of the same thing. So I'm like, so you've been most countries in the world. Is there anywhere you would never go back to? And he told me, yes, Somalia. That's the only one. He said when he was there, people looked at him like he was like a meal, like he was a target. They saw that he was a foreigner and they saw dollar signs. So he's been a lot of places and he seemed like a chill guy. So I'm going to take his advice and not go to Somalia. What was his name? Ginge Fullen, I think?
Change just resubscribed for 3 months. Love your content. I'm super excited for hitchhiking as I've only seen bike streams live.
DJ Change. Thank you very much for the 3 months. Glad you've been loving the content. But yeah, only seen the bike streams. So yeah, let's. I'll show you what this stream was all about. Pre-pandemic. Have viewers come and give you a ride? No, because it's not hitchhiking. Early on, when I first started streaming, I would, but I had to set the rule because it wouldn't show what hitchhiking's like if I continued to do that. Saw a streamer go through India. It seemed like he was a target there as well. What, Jay Streezy? Didn't he have a really good time in India? Like, maybe a target in that he was treated like a celebrity from what I was hearing of his experience in India. I would have probably not had that much fun there because it sounded so freaking hot there. I don't deal well with heat. He had a great time in India. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I'm like, I don't think he felt like he was a target. Want to try to do anything in Mass? I don't really have time to like seek out activities. I just like when it's a hitchhiking twist-on trip, I always have a long way to go and I don't have very much time to get there. So the purpose of the trip is to hitchhike as much as I can every day. But my goal in Massachusetts is to not deal with the Massachusetts State Police. Because last time I hitchhiked through here, I had a trooper threatening to arrest me. For what? The process went I was hitchhiking at a service station on the side of the state highway. So I was somewhere where you could be a pedestrian and stuff like that. So essentially everywhere in the world, that's fine to be a spot to hitchhike. And he pulls up next to me. He's like, hitchhiking is illegal in the state of Massachusetts, which is not. Done my research beforehand. So in the politest way possible, I'm like, that's not how I've read the law, kind of thing. Can you show me the law that says that it's illegal to hitchhike in the state of Massachusetts? And he goes back to his car. He's there for like 10-15 minutes and comes back. And he's like, so it's not illegal to hitchhike in the state of Massachusetts, but you can't do it here. It's illegal to hitchhike on the state highway, and this counts as the state highway because it's owned by the state. This is a service station owned by the state. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. Where can I hitchhike? It's like, the next intersection, the next on-ramp. I'm like, okay, I can't go there clearly. Can you take me there? He's like, yeah. So we get in the car, drives me there, go back out onto on-ramp, and I hitchhike there. It's not the best spot, but I'll get a ride. It's fine. I'm there for like an hour and a half, and then the dude comes back, and he's just like, you can't hitchhike here. And I'm like, this is exactly where you told me to hitchhike. Like, what do you want me to do? And he's just like, you can't. I'm like, well, where do I go? Anyway, we had a big back and forth, and then he's like, if you have a problem with that, I can arrest you if you'd like. And I'm like, okay, you win. Fine, you win. I don't feel like spending a night in jail. So where did you go? It was one of the most interesting days of hitchhiking for me because of contrast, and I will explain that. So after he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna arrest you if you don't just listen to what I'm telling you. So he like got back in his car, pulled his car, blocking all the street like that was leading towards the junction where you turn onto the interstate. So he stopped all traffic, was just like, and like escorted me across the street to the other side of the road. And then I just like sat down on the railing there, sat there for a bit, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then this couple in a Jeep pulled up, and they're just like, hey, where are you trying to get to? And I'm like, Boston. And they're like, hop in, let's go. And I'm like, okay. And so it was Pete and Amy had been driving around town doing some errands and saw me like 3 separate times as she's driving around doing errands. And she's like, once I pick up my husband, Pete, if I still see him out there, we're going to pick him up and take him wherever he wants to go. Because it was their day off, so they're just like, let's take this hitchhiker wherever he needs to get to. So they did. They took me to Boston, and we were having a great old time. They were super nice. Good conversation, good people. Then we got to Boston, and they took me out for dinner, for pizza in Boston. Then they took me to get some cannolis. And then they're like, there's no reason we have to drop you off here in Boston. We can take you further. So they continued driving me north into New Hampshire to Manchester, New Hampshire. And they got me a hotel room in Manchester. And then at that point said goodbye. But like, it was just a day of contrast between the state trooper being a bit of a dick and then me just kind of being sad, sitting there not knowing what to do, and then them picking me up and showing me the kindness that people are capable of. So you see kind of sometimes the best of people when you're hitchhiking. You, like the average person picking up a hitchhiker sees a stranger trying to get somewhere and is just like, yeah, I can help him out. Like that's a generous action right there. To see someone asking for something and be like, well, I'm going that way. Why not give him a lift? So generally you meet really kind people because there's someone willing to do something and expect nothing in return. I remember them, super nice. Yeah, and I did meet up with them again. I hitchhiked back down towards Boston, and they let me and my friend who I was hitchhiking with at the time stay at their place for like 2 nights. Because I was getting a new streaming phone, and I in advance they said they would let me mail it to their place, and then I got there, picked up the phone, and took like a day off, and then carried on. Only 5% of people stop. They're probably the only kind of people. Like 5% would infer like 1 in 20 people stop. It's much less than that. Like 1% or less of people would even consider picking you up, I think. It depends where you are. But a very small percentage of people would even consider picking up a hitchhiker. The vast majority of people, they won't. And that doesn't mean they're a bad person, not at all. There's a ton of different reasons to not pick up a hitchhiker, right? But the people that will are generally very kind. Like the chill stream, you got a long way to go though? Yeah, I'm confident I'll make it. I guess I haven't hitchhiked in 2.5 years, but at its core, hitchhiking is fairly simple. I've hitchhiked a lot in the United States, and I generally know what kind of distance is possible on average in a day, especially once we get out of the more eastern populated places. Midwest and South should be pretty easy to get long distance rides. The more spread out things are, the longer the rides you get, because just population centers are spread out. So if someone's driving out into the desert somewhere, they're going to at least the next bit of population. They're not just stopping in the middle of the desert. But when there's population centers everywhere around, most people driving past you aren't going that far. There's many different places they could be going. I feel a bit rusty on the whole hitching game. Like, the hitchhiking's going well. I don't think I've made any major mistakes. Sometimes you end up in a spot that's not ideal for hitchhiking, but like it will work. It's been fairly efficient. We haven't had any crazy long wait times. The longest wait was our wait on the highway in New Brunswick, and that was 1:45, which in hitchhiking terms is not very long. As for sex, when you try to kidnap you or is intoxicated? People have asked if I want to do, some extracurricular activities. Yeah, they've always taken a no just fine. It's uncommon, but it happens. Try to kidnap you? No. Or was intoxicated? Yes. I turn down rides. I when I'm talking to them before I get into the car, which is my rule, I talk to people before I get into the car. I'm trying to tell if they're sober. Is one of the things I'm looking for. Public bathroom situation to go in bushes. Some bathrooms can be gnarly. I don't have very high standards. I'm a hitchhiker after all. Before I go hitchhiking, I'm gonna use the bathroom in there, and we'll just go in privacy mode, and then I'll come back out here, and then we'll go hitchhike. But yeah, it was funny. So a bit of a more mature topic conversation here for a second. So if you're a minor, plug your ears. But it was in Virginia. Virginia's state slogan is "Virginia's for lovers," which is funny because we had 2 days in a row where Virginia really lived up to that slogan. So it was near the end of the day, one day, just on an on-ramp to the interstate in Virginia. And a guy pulled over and ran up to his car, and I'm like, "Hey, where was he heading to?" And he just looked at me, looked down at himself, looked at me, looked down at himself, and then I looked down at what he was looking at, and he just had his his stuff out, ready to rock and roll. And, you know, he was pretty much like, you know,
Jockety just subscribed with
hey, you wanna...
Prime.
Anyway,
First
I'm
time
like,
watching
no, thank you, I'm not interested. And then I went back and then told the stream what I just saw. So that was one. And then the very next day, I got picked up by a guy, and we drove, and I don't know, we drove for like an hour or probably something. And then near where he was going to drop me off, he asked me like a sex-based question. He's like, has anyone who's picked you up offered to, like, you know, do whatever, something with you? And I'm like, it has happened before, but it's uncommon. I thought it was just a curiosity question. But as soon as he asked that, he's just like, I was wondering if you wanted me to give you a blowjob. And I'm like, I appreciate the offer, but no thank you. So yeah, it was 2 days of row in Virginia, and that was interesting. So it happens, but it's uncommon, unless you're in Virginia. Anyways, turns off the stream, yeah. No. Friendly people, nice, yeah. Yeah, no, like, you know, he's offering to do me a favor, right? Person stopping review came off as angry, seemed more angry when he said he didn't want to take a ride with them. Yeah, no. Which never made sense to me, like, if you're pulling over for a stranger and helping them out, usually, like, that's a kind act. And then when people pull over and then they act all like angry or aggressive, you're like, how did we end up in this situation? Why did you pull over if you're so angry? Anyway, I'll turn down rides if they come off as especially aggressive. Guy with stuff out happened around Richmond. Same thing happened to my ex in Richmond. Probably the same guy. I don't remember where it was. It was very rural where I was. I think I'd just gone to like a German restaurant that was randomly on the side of the road, like a little local German place, and had some. It's not the only schnitzel Trevor was getting that night. Anyway, I don't know if it was by Richmond or not. Ekfi with the 3-month primary sub. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm gonna go to the washroom and then we'll get back to hitchhiking. I don't know if I'm gonna try and use a sign. Probably should. There's so many different ways people can go around here. I might come back and make a quick sign. Very nice looking Interstate 81 sign in the... Oh, okay, so I was on Interstate 81. I was gonna say Bratwurst, yeah. This is a nice place to hang out. Awesome. Looks good, thank you.
Just the play.
Looks good? Yeah. Thank you. Whoa! There's a car on fire. There's a car on fire, guys. When did that happen? That's where I got dropped off. So that car must have just pulled in there recently. Here was someone that I loved, then it could be. Did it translate?
Yeah.
Okay.
原発のことをもっと知りたいですか?
Do you want to have sex?
Bad Google. Oh no.
Miss.
So wait, time out. Where's he going? I think he's
I don't know, I mean, I
We're
apologize.
gonna bring him further north.
You guys can stream it too. You have his card now. Check him out. Yeah.
Is there plenty of fish? You can spend.
So when you come to dinner, do you order a table for four?
See you. Yeah. You know what that girl said? She came up to me this way and she's like, "We're looking for a condom. Do you have one?"
A what?
A condom.
There's a 7-Eleven right across the street.
Yeah, I don't understand the context of that question. You can pick them up.
Did they
anywhere.
hear you?
No, she whispered it to me.
Oh, all right, yeah, but
Really?
did you tell them?
Now I did.
Yeah, now they can hear you. Yeah,
That is
that's hilarious.
hilarious.
I'm in the process of hitchhiking, so I have this camera thing. That's fine. Bag in the back seat.
Whatever, buddy, hurry up.
Obviously, that'll be us, but
Actually, you know what? I got something else I'm gonna do. I appreciate the ride. It's all right. It's all right. I don't know. I didn't like him. Let's see.
You get famous, man.
Sorry?
You get famous. What are you scared of? My name's Bill.
No, it's all right, man.
Buddy, I offered you a ride. You're hitchhiking.
Yeah.
I know you know who I am, okay? Let's go.
It's all right, man.
Buddy,
Appreciate
you
the effort.
would have been famous before you even got up the block, bro. If you're connected, you would have been famous.
Okay.
Don't you want to get famous?
Not really.
Then you bullshit then, right? I know you see people like that in school.
Dude looks like a lady. 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 Look at all these plebs in a garden, relaxing, having a good time. Not 22 meters in the air, huh? Never love you the way I do. It's you and me, cat. And as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. He got banned from live stream fail.
You got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. Do 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 do. 7 or 8. What was that? Is that a scream? You can see it if I go like this. Spin around.
Yeah, buddy.
Just let fall. That's all I said. It's a hack bread.
Hello, we're back. Let's make a nice sign. Did we get some good clips? Anything relevant to what we were just talking about? It was one of the clips, did you? Oh, it became, yeah, you got the famous clip, okay. That's, yeah, one of the more famous clips. Oh, you got the nice couple. You got the Pete and Amy one? I need to find my pens. There we go. Dressing like a lady hitchhiking go, I'd love to watch that. Honestly, pretty good. I think I caught like 5 rides that day, and everyone was like quite chill, quite friendly. Okay, so this is what we used to get down I-95, and now I'll probably just make another one of these, but Interstate 90 and then west instead of south. That'll be 90 west. Just put a 4 in front. But we're only going, see, and it's like the 495, what, does kind of a big loop and then was it reconnect back up with the 95? But yeah, I'm not sure. What would be the best sign? Just do 90? Yeah, okay. You're gonna try and fly away, aren't you? So I bought like a Pro Sharpie. I'd never used like the Pro ones. Apparently it's supposed to mark on like wet and greasy surfaces, and doesn't work. Brand new, more expensive than the Magnum Sharpie, and it doesn't work. But I use it for outlining where I want to go, kind of thing. No.
the middle. Okay. Try soaking it in water? Maybe. It's weird. It's just like one of their higher end pens, and it was just dead right from the get-go. Usually pens, when you first use them, are just like, ooh, that's nice. It was not, ooh, that's nice. It was the opposite. I've always liked making the interstate shield signs. It's just a cool symbol. This one's a little lopsided. Can I fix it? It's just, that was a little short and that was a little long. Oh. Do 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 do. A little bit lower. That, and then it's nine. See? Erase it with the other Sharpie? Yeah, maybe that's what this one is designed for. It erases other Sharpies. It's hard to write thin with the Magnum Sharpie. I need to get a fine point one at some point, because doing any kind of smaller, finer work is a bit of a pain. Now we just clean it up a little bit and then it'll be fine. Not my best work. My first one was better, but. Sarah would be proud. This would probably be Sarah's favorite part of hitchhiking. Probes it should write on cardboard. Maybe it's a dud. I think it is just a dud. I don't know. Maybe when it was first packaged, it was like it wasn't sealed properly, and it was out and exposed to the air for the entire shelf life of it. I don't know. All I know is it doesn't work. I don't like writing capital W's because they want you to do like the full, like the middle point all the way to the top, and I always feel like I do that wrong. It also takes up a lot of space. See, for some reason, whenever I do a capital W like that, it just looks wrong. And then I do one that only goes like halfway up, and then it still looks wrong. Luckily, west is short. Say not a murder on the back. I have hitchhiked with a not a murder sign. We did get picked up. So that's good. I cannot see what I've done here. This, that. Can I tell that doesn't look good? I will tidy it up in a bit here. That's a very tall E. But once we thicken it, it should be not as silly looking. When there's big creases in the cardboard, it gets quite difficult to make smooth lines because they just kind of, the pen tracks all over the place. Oops. All right, now we gotta make this quite a bit thicker. That's fine. Marker is thick. Yeah, look at that. I don't even use the thickest, like, going this way. I end up going this way. Usually. It's okay. It's not my best work, but it's good. It's legible. It's one of the I'm not very artistic, but I like making hitchhiking signs, and they're not like fancy, artful, like I've seen some people make hitchhiking signs and they're all like trying to make them all artsy and stuff. Just big block letters, clean lines, descriptive, telling people where I want to go. Buy your Sharpies. I bought these at Monk Office before I left on the trip, so I just had pens ready to go. Where? How are you doing today? I'm doing good. And yesterday morning was like thunderstorms and torrential rain and stuff like that. And today is like nice, crisp, cool, and sunny. It's beautiful. So, if the weather's good, I'm happy. It makes a big difference in your like enjoyment of the day. Spend a lot of time outside, and if it's unpleasant to be outside, then it's kind of just an unpleasant day. Stay dry, sleep in a tent with rain, and make sure you don't wake up in a pond. Well, specifically the pond point is you don't want to sleep in a low point, a depression in the ground, because the rain will pool there. So if you know you're going to be expecting rain, especially lots of rain, you want to look, like ideally the ground has good drainage. The forest here actually drained quite well. Even though we had crazy amounts of rain yesterday, it drained through. It was still wet, it just wasn't standing water. But if it doesn't drain that well, especially, then you want to look for a little bit of a higher point in the ground. So when it does rain, the water kind of, drains out to lower points, not where you're sleeping. So a large part of not ending up in a pool of water when you're camping is your camp spot selection. Sorry, it's kind of shaking. Just think so. Still looks just kind of like hazy. But I don't, like, this looks clean. It could be the lens underneath. I don't know. Anyway, let's go. We'll go with the first person. But yeah, it was just out in there. You almost there? What, San Diego? Yeah, pretty much there. Thanks again for yesterday. We go left anyway. I think I'm gonna walk across the road so I'm facing traffic. Because I'll have to cross a sketchy American bridge, as per usual. Now there's wind. We're sheltered apparently where I was at. Where you at? Same place I was at yesterday. I forget what the town was called though. Very small town. I'm curious how much traffic we'll get on the on-ramp here. Just finished making the sign. Like, we're hitchhiking onto Interstate 495 south, but the goal is to get on Interstate 90, so I made an Interstate 90 west sign. And hopefully someone will be heading out that way and we'll see it. There also will be people that, you know, since we're hitchhiking onto the 495, they'll be like, well, this isn't Interstate 90. Why does he have an Interstate 90 sign on? So I'm trying to get there, but it's a chance it could cause minor confusion with a minority of people. Avoid early mornings for hitchhike because people go to work, etc. I find that hitchhiking around rush hour, if you're in an area that, yeah, you get a lot of cars, but no one really willing to pick you up because they're just getting to work. Rush hour morning and evening, I find. Like, I've definitely gotten rides around then, and I won't stop hitchhiking just because it's rush hour. But it can be a bit more annoying because you just have so many cars, so you don't really get a break between cars. And everyone's just trying to go home or go to work depending on what time of the day it is. So I think from like